Hey, and welcome to a Chicago Beer Pass beer review. Nick, we have a mess on the table. There's half acre beers, there's Revolution beers, now there's Mikerphone beers,
We're here to get the win, Brad.
bottles and cans. We got different glassware, special glasses.
Fancy cups.
Yeah.
We
So what do we got going on this review?
Well, Brad, today we have the Smells Like a Canceled Beer Fest. This was this marked the beginning of the Rona because Mikerphone had their festival, then they had to cancel it, and then you come pick up a 4-pack and get some fancy cups.
Okay, so these are cups fused with a coaster.
Right. This is like a straight up rocks glass, right? This is like 1972 in full effect right here with this fucking
Yeah,
glass.
this is it's bottom heavy.
And I never drink out of it, so I'm like, let me bring some cups. And then we've got an oat wine, Brad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we have started opening this before we hit record? We got the opener there.
We'll do our best.
It's an oat wine with,
It's Portugal the beer, so it's an oat wine oat wine aged in tawny port wine puncheons.
puncheons.
Puncheons, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is a puncheon like a barrel?
Yeah, it's like an oversized wine barrel.
Oh,
Right.
not a fooder.
Right. Like Fooder and Puncheon are
Are
different.
different,
Right.
but the same.
What's the difference?
I
See,
don't know.
American oak barrels don't have that problem.
Yeah.
They're barrels no matter what fucking size. It's a barrel. Right. So what's a
See,
Puncheon versus a Fooder? It's a fair question.
I feel like it must just be the size. I feel like there's the size, like barrels are certain size, then there's this one, and then there's another one, and then there's another one. I feel like I did like an infographic on this a while ago, so that might be it might just be a size.
Okay.
It's basically the size of 2 barrels. I forget what it was. All right, not too bad.
No. We ran the ball enough to get it open.
All right, let's is it gonna pour out red?
Let's
Man,
see.
it's like smoking.
Part of my concern here, Brad, is that it's an oat wine in a wine barrel.
What? Why do you think that's a concern?
Well, because beers in wine barrels are drastically different from beers in bourbon barrels.
Okay.
So it's a barrel-aged wine. It's a barrel-aged oat wine in a wine barrel.
I do feel like I should have ice in this glass, right? It feels like it needs
Or something.
porty.
There's some funk there, and there's some fruit. There's some funk and there's some ripe fruit.
Yeah. All right, let's go in. That's very syrupy.
Syrupy, kind of pungent.
We're drinking like a 3% beer, so this is this feels very big.
Yeah. Aside
Thick even.
aside from being syrupy and pungent, the head kind of went away right away.
What is this again? It's an oat wine aged in port wine. Basically barrels. Punch on.
When I think oat wine, well, oat stout is simple. Oat stout is Death Star, from Revolution. When I think oat, I think like kind of velvety mouthfeel, kind of creamy, kind of like some nice bready sweetness. When I think of oat, anything in a beer, but I've actually never had an oat wine. Now I've had a barley wine and I've had a wheat wine, and then I've had a rye wine because Rye Way to Heaven. So when I think oat wine on its own is kind of something I've never had before. So this is a very curious offering from the Mikerphone crew.
It does remind me of the first time I had port, where I had it and I didn't know what to think of it. It was it's more of a Deschief kind of. It was just like a sherry.
Yeah.
Kind of like sherry and port. I often think of them very closely together. I was like, I don't know what to think about this. I don't not like it, but I don't like it. at the same time.
It's like a fortified wines or something I don't really understand in general. You know, whether it's port or whether it's Madeira cask or, you know, just kind of these overly sweet, kind of heavy wines. It's something that, I don't know. Like, either I don't have an appetite for them or I just don't understand their place. You know what I mean? Like, when am I supposed to enjoy this?
Right.
You know?
That's why I was looking at it. I'm looking at this beer for answers. Like, tell me more about you. And
I will say this, though.
am I supposed to be reading Shakespeare next to the fire kind of thing and drinking this?
Right. We need more directions.
Yeah. How to consume this beer.
Yeah. I think I definitely get the barrel.
Yeah.
You know, what I associate with a big fortified wine, that's what I taste. But I don't know if I taste anything outside of that. Right?
Yeah, I feel like my question for the 2022 is like, why am I drinking this?
Yeah.
Like, what is this like? What's that like? Fucking lady that like throws away stuff. Like, does this make you feel? Does this bring joy to your life? Like, you know,
I don't know that one.
It's like a lady that like,
Okay.
You're cleaning your house and you're like, you throw away things that don't.
Oh, and
joy.
you're justifying like why you're throwing it away.
This doesn't bring me joy. It's like I feel like this beer. It's like, do I want more of this? Like I don't know. And if you can't say yes, maybe it's not working.
It's a beer that clearly defines what your border is, right? Like, you know who you are, and then you think you know who you are as a drinker. But if you didn't know who you were as a drinker, this kind of defines a clear border for you. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm not going past.
I don't know, anything that's more than that.
Then we're not going. That's the edge of the earth. That the flavors in that are as far as I want to take it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, I don't know, like, because it could be weird. Like, you remember you had the Christmas beer from, what was it? It was War on Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was violent.
That was not good.
Yeah. And it was like.
That was just not good. This is like the edge. Like, I don't know if I want to go beyond that.
The flavors are, what is the word? The flavors are kind of like, when you think about flavors, you want them to work together, right? Where it's just kind of this seamless experience. You're just kind of enjoying all these things all at once, and you're like, wow, it's doing this, it's doing that. And they kind of bounce off each other, and they make you feel good. These flavors are kind of like more abrasive than you want them to be.
Yeah.
You know, like the is it a sour oak? It's like it's a very tannic oak. I won't say sour, but it's a very bitter oak. Yeah. And then it's like a very kind of strange tart fruit.
But okay,
A lot of that going on.
if someone was to pour this for you and not tell you it was a beer and say, here's a port wine,
Yeah.
is that going to change your opinion on what you're drinking?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing we're saying, right? Because we're not saying we don't like it as a beer. We're saying, do we understand port wine enough to understand what this is supposed to be doing?
I feel
Right?
like that's where I'm at. It's like I sometimes think of this as like a peaty scotch. Like you have to like work your way to and to go past that like peaty
Right.
scotch. Like I just want a little bit of peat. I want more whiskey than scotch.
You want something reminiscent of the peat. You don't want the full-on peat experience.
So this is where I'm at here. I don't want port wine.
I don't want
in
the
my
full-on.
beer.
I don't want the full-on port experience.
Yeah.
I just want to tiptoe into the port world, and I think this is doing more than tiptoeing, right?
Yeah.
So that's the question, right? Is this too advanced for us, right?
Ugh.
And I think that it might be.
We're simple men.
Yeah. Yeah. What Brad said.
Huh.
It's a thinker, this beer.
But I get mad. I get kind of mad that it's sort of like, this isn't for you. This is for a more refined palate. It's like, fuck you. I know what's, not that it's not Not that it's bad. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's like I know what I like, and this isn't what I like. Don't tell me it's not for me. I'm like making this beer like mad at me.
No, some things are going out of their way to make a statement. And this is definitely making a port wine statement. And it's like you're either in on that statement or you're not, right? I feel like that is making a very clear decision. Like it's not trying to be a pop record. It's not trying to be something that's get played on the radio. It's for a certain group of people that like this type of music. Right?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
So if you were at a bottle share and someone opened this, are you going for it now?
Oh, like after I've had it today?
After you've had it today.
No, I think I'm kind of one and done on the
Okay.
Portugal the beer. I think I'm kind of one and done. Yeah.
But if you haven't had it, try it.
I want to know. I want to know what's going on for sure.
But I think go a little less of a pour you might do.
Yeah.
Like if you were like pouring, I don't know, henna, you might go a little bit more. I don't know, go a little less.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not bad.
Outside of wild ales, do wine barrels play well with darker style beers in general, right? Like that's the problem, right?
I feel like I've had a sherry wine barrel beer. I don't remember who.
But there's not a ton of examples of, hey, we put this darker beer in a wine barrel, and it's our favorite beer of the quarter or the year. There's not a lot of examples of that. Mm-hmm. So we've gotten more acclimated with that side of, the wine beer paradox.
Man, I feel like we have not had a lot of home runs on our beer reviews lately. Like ones where we're like, oh my God, I'm so glad.
The last one might have been like that. Was probably I could be wrong, but Cruz Blanca was like that.
Or like just opening the Rev stuff.
Oh, the Rev stuff,
like the Deep Woods things, but
yeah. But I think we need to, when you look at, especially a crew like Mikerphone, where they're doing a couple new beers every week.
Yeah,
it's like you kind of have to throw stuff off the wall, because without that, you don't have your new beer every week. You have to stay creative.
Yeah,
and everything's, in order to be creative, some things have to be, a little out there. It's your job to go. It's your job to take it to the edge, and that's what they're doing here. This is definitely the fucking edge. This beer, definitely the edge. So,
All right, I don't know what more to say about it. I feel like the beer is mocking me, and
the beer is like
you don't understand me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's all. That's it.
Yeah. So,
take care.
Cheers.